Good evening and welcome to Speed Gaming. This is our daily race. Tonight's mode is hybrid major glitches. Um, it's fun. So we get to do a whole bunch of glitching around the overworld, and then there's a couple. I think there's 4 underworld glitches that are allowed. For tonight's race, joining me on comms is Pix. Say hi, Pix.
Hello, Twin. How are you?
I'm doing all right. So you and I are both in overworld glitches or a glitches mentoring tournament going on right now. How comfortable are you with the glitches that we'll probably be seeing tonight?
I'd say maybe like a nice 6.5, 7 out of 10. It's always nice to have someone in your ear confirming that you are lined up exactly right for some of these overworld clips. And we're actually going to see a little bit of this today because I believe we have 3 of these racers are currently in the glitch mentor tournament: Lana, Windfox, and Dr. Earworm. And then we also have Zeke, who has a little more experience with the glitches and maybe a little more confident. But we're about 4.5 weeks in to the glitch mentor tournament, so I think all 4 of our runners are going to show themselves to be extremely capable glitchers.
Yeah. So yeah, just a reminder. If you've never watched a glitch category before, you do have to be careful. There are some times you can think you're on the right pixel and you glitch it where you want to go, and all of a sudden you're not where you want to go and you have to save and quit. Occasionally, you can hard lock yourself and you have to do a hard reset. And depending on how long it's been since you saved, you could lose a fair amount of progress. We're hoping we won't see any of those tonight, but it's always a possibility.
Yeah, that's probably a difference you may see between some of the more experienced and less experienced runners. Is just some of that confidence in knowing that you're going to do this right. The difference between major glitches and hybrid major. So this is more closer to overworld glitches, as we are getting started now. So we will see a lot of overworld clips. And then, like Twin mentioned, the underworld is sort of like a quilt, and we're going to see these runners exploit the seams of that quilt in a few places, which we can talk about more when we get to Hera and Mire and Swamp, when it's a little more relevant. But everyone's off from Link's house.
Yeah, it's interesting. We've got 3 people doing the lake checks. Looks like 2 of those are going to Saha. One of them is going to check Hobo, and then we have Windfox, who decided to skip the lake and just is checking Uncle, which is a really unusual thing. We like to meme a little bit in the overworld or in the glitch community that you usually don't check Uncle until like the hour mark.
Yeah, it would be considered an anti-meta play. You know that Uncle is something that gets put off for a long time, so there's a chance to extract some value there. But we did see that in Saha's closet there was a lamp.
Yeah, it's not required for. I mean, a lot of times people just know dark rooms anyway, just like you would in regular rando. But it's so nice to have, not having to worry. Because as you see, we're starting with no sword. So sometimes navigating those dark rooms is a little bit tricky. We do start with real boots. Otherwise, we wouldn't be able to do a lot of the overworld glitches and clipping that we need to do. But not having that sword means that we have to do things a little bit on the more difficult side. Spin speed makes a lot of these clips just so much easier.
Yeah, and you're always going to be faster through the rooms with the lamp, even if you are really comfortable. You are now seeing Lana is going into Kakariko. Kakariko is you see some people in glitch racing put off for quite a while. Just trying to pick up more of your cash chores before you get here to maximize your efficiency.
without the sword, I find going into CAC is a little bit safer. Going up the mountain with only 3 hearts and no sword to protect yourself is a little scary. So personally, myself, I will go into CAC before I go up the mountain, just to try to find some sort of weapon. Hammer, hookshot, an actual sword. Even a boomerang would be nice against the dead rocks. Just something to help protect myself there.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like we're having any luck, though. Oh, I lied. Lana found a sword.
Yeah, that's really nice to have. Also, as you are dash buffering these clips in, especially if you're doing it sword out, having that spin too also gives you just a little extra time to reposition. Because you do have to, on these clips, go from moving laterally to clip into a slope to a clean diagonal movement. So you can sword buffer that. If you have charge to spin, you'll get a spin buffer, which gives you, I think, about, 30 seconds or 30 frames?
It's a pretty hefty amount of time. For those of you watching, you just noticed Zeke clip into a cliff and do some jumping shenanigans, and all of a sudden he's past the big rock and into Old Man Cave. And on Dr. Earworm's side, he just decided to skip Old Man Cave altogether and just clipped right up to the top of Death Mountain.
Yeah, so this is this is 2 different variations of what we call a DMA, or a Death Mountain Ascent. Dr. Earworm opted for a Lumberjack DMA over by the Aga heart piece check, whereas Zeke opted for what's called the new DMA, where you enter the Old Man Cave from where the Glove Rock blocks you. So just 2 routes to the same place. Both of these runners are starting now to explore Tower of Hera. This is where hybrid major glitches gets interesting. So we have not found the big key to the Tower of Hera, but the big key is not necessarily in the basement.
We didn't find a small key either, which means that Hera is actually Meyer locked. So we are going to either have to use Hera Pot, which we have no way to do right now, or we have to come into there from Meyer. Meanwhile, Lana has found another sword. There are 2 swords in Kakariko.
Yeah,
tonight.
And a really convenient shovel location for this kind of conventional overworld glitches route of CAC into desert, into K45, shovel spot Agina. So it's just she's gonna pick up some nice efficiency of having that stuff on the way, as well as the combat upgrades.
Have we seen a map check yet? I don't think we have.
There was one right at the start, but I totally missed it. Zeke is showing off the sign.
That sign is not normally there in the vanilla game.
The game in 1991 does not know who the 2017 glitch tournament winners are.
No, I mean, it's a pretty fancy game with everything you can do, but I don't think it knows how to tell the future either.
So yeah, on this route that Lana's taken, you typically treat the front of desert like overworld. So she's gonna go through here and get back out. Wind Fox is right behind.
Is Dr. Earworm... Oh, they were trying to do the Graveyard Ledge clip, but unfortunately did not get the proper inputs on there. So we see the desert is a crystal. It looks like Eastern and Hera are also crystals, according to Lana's tracker. Lana could finish this. All they have to do is, once they're done with shovel and K45, just clip back up, and they can actually clip into the back if they don't find a glove. And it will effectively end their route, but it's kind of the end of the route anyway. But yeah, we'll have to see how that plays out.
So that is both items. So there's not anything on Lammo. Lammo will get faster. So you don't have to force it here. It is a crystal boss, but I don't think there's anything to be gained from doing it here. So, but she looks like she's going to opt to just go ahead and get it done while she's in the area.
She has a glove too?
Where'd we get a glove?
Where did we get a
Okay.
glove?
Yeah, so getting...
Okay, that makes it super free to do.
Yeah, now that you have the glove and you're not going to be in desert jail when you get out, like, yeah. Go ahead and do it.
Yeah, just get that first crystal under your belt in under 10 minutes. Usually in glitch modes, it's Hera, but as you saw from Zeke and Dr. Earworm, we can't finish Hera right now, so being able to finish Desert, it's always nice to get that first crystal done.
Yeah, it feels great having a crystal in your pocket at less than 10 minutes.
Even if it is Master Sword Landmo.
Yeah, it's, what is that, 4 spins?
Something like that.
It's not, yeah.
Zeke is doing something fun. Zeke found the mirror up here on Death Mountain somewhere. I'm assuming Paradox Cave. I could be wrong. It's hard to watch 4 screens at once. So they have screen wrapped and have done a mirror portal. And they are going to go and check Lumberjack or Graveyard Lich. They're going to hop down and they're going to fall in the useless fairy hole over on the next screen over. And that will put them in the Houlihan room, which is a great place to pick up extra money. Well, there's another glove. I know that's not the glove that...
That is very
glove.
Suspiciously early mitts.
Yes. Okay. So they're going to fall here. I think this is Houlihan.
Yeah, this should still be a Houlihan. The camera's still broken. It's just a little faster than screen transitioning over to Useless Fairy.
Okay. But anyway, this is going to pop him out, or Zeke out at Link's house. And they're going to just run up to the castle. They're going to find their mirror portal, and they're going to take it. And it's going to take them to the Dark World, obviously. And it's going to put them right into Pyramid Fairy.
Oh, I think Windfox has gotten himself stuck.
Yep, Windfox is in glitch jail at the moment. I'm not sure where they clipped from or how that happened.
Might have been one bump too low.
It might have been.
Yeah.
So a lot of these clips, it's usually the third bump, unless it's not. There's sometimes when it's the first bump, sometimes when it's, I don't think it's ever sometimes it is the second bump, but usually it's the third bump. Like I said, unless it's not.
Yeah, there's a lot of getting familiar with just the different clips. One of the things I was having to learn is just sort of like how it works. So then it becomes kind of easier to apply in other places as you kind of know, okay, this slope that's kind of like this, I typically want to be here. And knowing how to do that. But this is one of those reasons why Uncle gets put off. So you can see Zeke was able to combine Uncle with Pyramid Fairy. I would be surprised to see Front of Escape, but maybe going for it. But it's just that you're able to pick up efficiency, which kind of makes Uncle a less attractive early play.
Zeke doesn't have anything to kill the guards with, so he could check one chest.
I can't read the bomb count, but yeah.
Oh, I forget about bombs. That's a slow.
Yeah.
Yeah. But now's probably going to be your best time to do it, because you're here. And then with the mirror, it makes it a little bit nicer.
Yeah, you can get right back out. Although I think this is probably going to be a save and quit. I don't think Zeke has anything left in this area.
We will want to be watching for the map. Because if there's a key in Dark Cross, we may be able to do swamp shenanigans with that.
So we did get our key. I think, yeah, we did get our key in the map chest.
Okay, so no key in. So it might be an item, might be map. We'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, I don't recall if we've seen the Hyrule Castle map yet. Lana has now gotten the news that she is Meyer locked out of proceeding any further. Is going to be exiting Hera. So the way this works, and sort of the whole underpinning of hybrid major glitches, is that the game will use your keys, big keys and small keys, based on what dungeon you entered from. So we have the ability to transition from Mire into Hera, and from Hera to Swamp, and from Hera to Darkcross. And so that is what we're going to see these runners do. So the runners are going to be logically expected to have the Mire medallion, open Mire, get the big key, and then bring that big key to Hera to get in.
Okay, so Zeke is going back. Okay, heading to Dark Cross.
Yeah, so I guess it. Yeah, I guess it is an item. I don't think Zeke hasn't been to the back yet because he houlihan through the.
Yeah, he houlihan through that back of escape drop in.
Yeah, went ahead and spent the key though.
All right, so we're getting some new checks from Win Fox, who has decided to go South Shore.
I really like that sort of left to right Death Mountain clip, just how you kind of wiggle your way up. Interesting book. So yeah, I think Win Fox.
Moon Pearl's also in the dam.
Oh.
So those mitts were not leading to the Moon Pearl like I thought they were going to.
Yeah, but that another interesting thing is that we actually have parts of ice in logic. Because we are not expected to have a fire source to get past the first room of ice.
Yeah. Oh, and the cane on Bombos.
Yeah, speaking of ice.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah,
That is a location that can trip up some of our runners.
It's fairly conveniently located. Just one screen away from where you need to be to turn it in, but it is kind of awkward to go back over there when you've done everything else.
And so many of the runners just do desert from CAC, so getting that book at the Sunken Treasure, I don't know. We'll have to wait and see how our runners handle that.
Yeah, I've been with the mentor I've been working with. We've done a few routes where you go up to the mountain, and then after you do the houlihan, you take the houlihan to South Shore. Because in this case, you don't always have that mirror show up. So that's one way other runners in this race could find their way to that before they go to that area. But with Pearl and Boots, we now have a significant amount of Dark World access. We have a glove, so we could bypass the hammer requirement by Hype Cave. You're also going to see a lot of people just jump off the mountain. So we'll see which option Win Fox is going to choose after Zora area. I think he just charged the water walk.
Yeah, sometimes having this much open is so hard.
Oh, and I think we're going to see Lana and Win Fox converge on each other from opposite directions.
Very interesting.
Yeah, I love just how many different routing options.
Oh no.
Yeah, you need to take that going left to right. Looks like Lana moved straight down. Ooh, powder.
Yeah, powder could be good.
Yeah, this is kind of awkward because if you clip up here, you can't get back to Zora.
But if you get the item, you can. I don't think Windfox has done East Death Mountain.
No. And
So
Windfox,
they could have got the item and then done all of East Death Mountain and then clipped down like Lana was going to do and then grab the item.
oh no, setting up for the splash delete instead. Yeah, the other option available would have been to go see what Zora had, since it wasn't anything that Windfox wanted to pick up. You could just run back and then do your clip. I suck at that splash delete. It's impossible.
I've never learned to splash delete, so you're at least one step ahead of me.
I would say behind. I know I once attempted to splash delete with flippers on Restream. I got it, but obviously.
Yeah, I've done like the hobo clip with flippers before, and I'm like, wait a minute. After that first clip in and you just start swimming, you're like, wait, that's not right.
Yeah. Oh,
Anyway.
I'm here now.
I'm here now. I guess I'll just go in.
Yeah. The hardest glitch in all of Rando is having a functioning brain for the entirety of a seed.
And I tell you, after you have done enough of these glitches, you're just like, I'm done.
Yeah.
Where is Windfox going?
I don't know. Screen wrap.
Oh, they're going to
Okay.
Hera. All right.
Really interesting how they were screen wrapped like that.
Also, we found out that Meyer was Bombos. So we are looking for at least Bombos. It also looks like, at least I think it was Bombos. Pretty sure it was. It looks like Pod and Swamp are pendants.
Yeah, don't.
But what's
see
the third one? Oh, we'll have to wait for another map check because I'm not sure.
Yeah. Lana also setting up the mirror portal offset. We saw Zeke opt to go into the old man cave to fix the camera and then continue the route. Lana's going to choose the death warp here.
I always fix the camera and then death warp, but I probably don't need to. I don't know for sure. I can never remember when you need to and when you don't.
Well, you don't have collision with the cabbages, so if you want the cabbages to do it for you, you fix your camera.
Gotcha.
Lana had an embarrassment of riches in bombs, and just decided she could spare 6 of them.
Oh, it looks like Dr. Earworm checked the tablet and also got their cane.
Also picked up the powder.
Yes, picked up the powder. They must have clipped up there.
Yeah, so we do have a cane and the mushroom. In addition to that powder, doing a fake powder is not in logic. There's no way to know that you would not turn in your mushroom and be locked out from doing that check. So it is nice to get real powder. Fake powder's a bad meme.
We can also do a swim clip into Magic Bat.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, most everybody has already done CAC area, so that's probably going to have to wait until another visit if anybody decides to do it. We just might not see Magic Bat tonight.
Yeah, really interested to see where Doc and Zeke are gonna go. Being our 2 with Pearl. Doc just picked up the mitts, getting a water walk to turn the mushroom. And then
Is this our first back of escape check? Looks like it's just garbage, but
I think we saw it from Windfox earlier. I didn't remember there being anything noteworthy. But that
like I said,
is crystal number 1 for Zeke.
and it was desert, just like Dr. Earworm and Lana. I have a feeling that desert's going to be the first crystal for most everybody.
Yeah. Yeah, now that we know you have that glove there.
Okay, the palette shuffle on Zeke's screen is kind of throwing me off a little bit. I really thought they were in Dark World for a second.
Yeah, it does look kind of dark worldy.
Yeah, I'm tired already. I'm not even doing the glitches tonight and worrying about routing or anything, and my brain is just like, nope, we're done.
We should be seeing or start to explore the dark world around this time. I think everyone has mostly covered each other's ground in the light world.
Could this be Kiki Skip from Windfox? If they can stop getting bullied by the boulders?
This might just be a... This might be
just a
super
clip
jump.
up to her. Okay. I don't know super jumps either. There's so much I need to learn still. There's so many glitches that you can do.
There's just so many different ways to effectively accomplish the same thing. No, it looks like this is going to be over towards Hookshot Cave and Super Bunny. Maybe a foray in the TR with that cane. Maybe Catfish.
Yeah. We can't do Mimic Cave yet. But yeah, we could start looking at a few checks at least in Turtle Rock.
So that was a super jump from Lana, jumping all the way from the top of Death Mountain down to Swamp Palace. Have to enter Swamp Palace to fix your camera when you are screen wrapped like that. Thieves is our last crystal.
Imagine that, Thieves Town being a pendant.
But there are certain entrances which have properties that someone that knows more about this game could explain to you why they work. But the dungeon entrances are those special kind of entrances that can fix your camera when your screen is wrapped.
Spike Cave will not fix your camera. Just so you know. I've tried it before and I'm like, oh, that didn't work. Okay, so the red cane on Bombo's tablet has not tripped up any of our runners on Restream, which is good news.
I think Windfox is setting up for a hover.
Killed the Bari.
If they can do it, good on them, because hovering still escapes me.
Yeah,
It's also not in logic, so anything you find here that might be good is not going to lead you to... I mean, it might lead you to something, but it's going to be out of logic, and so it might mess with your brain a little bit.
Yeah, so Tower of Hera is still in the same spot that it was. It's at the top of the map. But the way that Lana came off the mountain, she ended up jumping down. You saw her fly by like 8 times on the screen. That was the super jump, going that many down.
And yeah, Lana found Ether, Bombos, and a hammer in Hype Cave tonight. So we have a way into Mire. We have a way to finish Mire. We can full clear Mire right now. I think.
Which
Yeah.
means that we can now also logically beat Hera.
Yes. And possibly get into Swamp. Because Lana has that hammer, which will allow us to... well, we can't finish Swamp, logically, because we don't have flippers, but we can at least get in and unlock it, if we need to. Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
so
here
the-
is this magic bat clip on Zeke's screen. So they're going to fake flipper, and they're going to do some... And yeah, there we go. It's all done. Magic bat. Hi. We have no magic, but we can fake powder, fake real powder. Is that what it is?
Yeah, real fake powder? I don't know.
Real fake powder, fake real powder. Either
I
way.
think this is fake powder. I don't think Zeke has the powder.
Oh, they don't yet.
Yeah.
Because they haven't been up to Zora yet.
Windfox? Okay. Hey, if things get weird, just save and quit out. Don't be a hero.
Yes.
Yeah, so this will be interesting for, I guess, the way people choose to get off the mountain and into the dark world. So Lana opted for the super jump, which put her down around the hype cave. Some people may opt for what we call a DMD, or a Death Mountain Descent, which will put you over by Bumper Ledge. The stacked hype cave is nice for the super jumpers. So we will see how that decision impacts anyone else.
But with those mitts, you could always do... I don't know. The mitts just make routing a little bit easier. Because you can get around the big rocks down at the bottom of Village of Outcast. You can get around... You know, you can pick up the stone to get underneath. Or the portal by Link's house.
Yeah, Zeke is when Fox is training his magic to do the same thing. But yeah, Zeke is looking sideways at Purple Chest. I think early mitts and glitches are not good news. So you know, looking sideways at the only things that unlock Smith Chain and entering Ice Palace without the flippers.
Yeah, following those mitts seems pretty logical. So far, it hasn't been anything.
No. And it's weird too, because that's a hook shot in Meyer. Yeah, it's really interesting too, because we also know that Bombos is available, so you know you can clear Ice Palace. It may mean flippers are in Ice Palace, and that's just all it amounts to. But this Meyer is hookshot, big key, like, all right, thanks.
Yeah, go beat the boss and then come back in.
Yeah.
Oh, Windfox is doing so they have yeeted themselves a little ways, and now they're going to be... Oh, they got to hold down there. They're gonna try to do some clips to get to a cave. At this point, it would have been faster to just go up the mountain and jump down to the cave. But they're going to try to get to one of the caves below the Spectacle Rock opening. And then we're going to bomb clip into the wall to get us into the Palace of Darkness.
Yeah, so this is one of those underworld clips. No hammer and no bow. It's also a pendant, so you don't really feel an obligation to clear it. But looks like...
Oh, where are they going?
Yeah,
that's not right. Save and quit. There we go. Or hard reset, yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure how I feel about this early pod play, especially where it's a pendant and you don't have a lot of clearing items for it. When there's so much available to you other places.
Yeah, you're going to pod for potentially 4, maybe 5 items, if you get lucky. But it's also a pendant, and it's like, yeah, it's a pendant. You don't have to beat it, but like, What if you didn't even have to go into it?
Yeah.
But it's also pendant pod, and I know that some runners have, not necessarily saying Windfox, I don't know that much about his playstyle, but some runners have worms in their brain about pendant pod.
Yeah, there's strong feelings both directions about Pendant Pod. And everybody is allowed to have their own opinions on that.
Yes.
We're getting a nice play from Zeke. They are still following those mitts.
And that is both,
Oh, no, never mind. Where are we going? Hobo? Okay. See, this is the thing with glitches. You can never follow your runners. Because they always just do whatever they want.
that is also both items in Mire.
Wait. Where did Dr. Earworm find the bow? Chat, help me. It was in Sea House? Ooh. Ooh, and there's Flute.
Yep.
It's early enough that could be useful.
Yeah,
It's great for turning into mushroom and just some general getting around.
it is, yeah, purely a convenience item in glitch modes.
Yeah, as you've seen from Lana's screen, we don't need it to get into Mire, which is really the only flute-locked location in regular rando. But, yeah.
Yeah, we are also starting to approach the hardest glitch mode decision, I think, and that is when do you enter GT? Because Lana now has, with Hammer and Hookshot, Lana now has a logical means to reach Ice Armos, which is usually the deciding factor for a lot of runners.
Yeah, it'd be nice if Lana could go get that bow in Village of Outcasts before going, because Master Sword, I don't know, maybe there's a bow in GT. It's possible.
There's another one somewhere.
There's another one somewhere. There's also a blue cane somewhere, which is an acceptable weapon for Ice Armos.
Yeah, and so in this mode, this is a 7/7 slow Ganon where you do have to also defeat Agatu. So the runners will at some point have to route in GT. There's always a decision of there's great density there. Do you go there looking for items versus like, what if I get to go mode GT? That would be pretty sick. So
Interesting that we saw Zeke pick up. I guess they must have just been low on bombs because we saw the upgrade fairy.
yeah, probably gonna see one of those HMG clips right here too. The Ice Palace lobby clip. It is faster. I also think he's out there.
Yeah, Zeke moved on that, so that bomb clip was not going to work. I cannot tell you if they are lined up properly because I don't use this sprite.
You need 1 pixel of white under the shadow. I know that. That's what I'm always looking for.
There we go. We got it. So we're going to be able to... Oh, they want magic.
Yeah,
That's not going to work.
You can walk into that thick rail and place a bomb, and it will hit the switch like through the barrier. Zeke's trying to get it on the corner there. Doesn't
Yeah, a
have the
lot of
magic
people-
to do a cane bomb or a cane drop.
It's a good thing they got the bomb upgrade.
Yeah.
Let's hope the Pengators drop some magic for them.
This is the one thing I don't like about the ice clip is it makes routing back to the compass chest kind of awkward.
Yeah, I think a lot of people, if they're gonna do Pengator, like if you're doing a full clear of ice, will just do like what Zeke has done.
Oh, you get a little bit of magic. Enough to icebreaker, that's what's important.
That's a nice big key because you can just check that on the way now and you don't have to worry about backtracking for it. Hey, guess what? Lana's heading into GT.
Yeah, this is I think a good decision. she is still missing the mitts from Graveyard Ledge, I think, right?
Yeah, I think so.
So yeah, ice is
Same
not.
with Windfox, I believe.
Ice would be available with the mirror.
Not in
the
Logic,
mirror
though.
wrap. It's not. Yeah, it's not in Logic to enter. We know that the mitts are available and that it is in Logic. But the ice is available if ice is available to her if she is comfortable with the mirror wrap. I think the mirror wrap is easier than the flippers wrap, the logical way to
Agree.
also get in.
But then again, I've run the all dungeons route, and so I learned the mirror wrap first, so I'm just more comfortable with it.
Fire rod.
Ooh, fire rod. There's our Skull Woods
Yeah.
and all but
Oh.
Trinex and Turtle Rock.
Yeah, I think we at this point just need flippers and the ice rod.
Yeah, I think that's the only two items that we have no idea where they are right now.
Yeah. It's life comes at you fast in glitch modes, and these runners have all been playing great. I don't know about your experience with HMG so far. I feel like I've had so many late flipper seeds.
I'm trying to remember. Yeah, I think I've had a couple where I've had to have like flippers were my go mode. Unfortunately, I haven't done as many as I would like to, but that's okay. Right? Nothing can go wrong.
Yeah. I also need to be making more time to practice, but I could be playing one seed by myself, or I could watch 4 people playing one seed. So I feel like that's like 4 times the practice. Chat said that asked if that was the ice rod. I know that was the fire. We found the fire rod. I don't know that we've seen an ice rod.
Unless Zeke picked it up. I've been watching Lana's screen.
Yeah, I've been trying to jump back and forth. The problem is with Ice Palace, there's always so much space between the checks.
There really is. I mean, it's a fast go mode clear. But yeah. So with the fire rod and tow, Lana now has right side available as well up here.
Yeah, and have we seen the big key?
I don't think we've seen the big key yet.
Yeah, you never know if we have the big key, because I don't know about you, it's impossible for me to remember that you can check GT big chest because it just doesn't come up that often if you're not doing glitches or
Where we're I mean, we have the mirror, but Lana, if she does have the big key, she might decide to check the big chest after, just walk out to the big chest from here. It is an option. Or if big key is back here.
So that is cold stare down for Zeke. And no flippers here in ice. Like, so what was the point of these mitts?
Bait, maybe?
Yeah, the game just had to put the items somewhere.
Yeah. Windfox is in Turtle Rock, doing those couple of checks that they can get done. It's not very many, but you can get a few.
Yeah, so Turtle Rock is pretty interesting because you do have options to enter from all 4 entrances. Logically, you're only going to be expected to enter from the first 3 and not from Laser Bridge. So our big key placement doesn't change. The lava chest is the deepest into the dungeon that it could be. So if you have to do it, I don't mind.
There's our flippers.
All right, we just gotta find an ice rod.
So all of our runners have half magic, which is really nice when you only have Master Sword. Oh, we are medallion locked in Turtle Rock. We have to go in through either Laser Bridge or the front. Oh, and there is a bow in GT.
Huge.
Really, really nice routing here from Lana. So
Yeah,
she's gonna go ahead and climb. Not a bad choice.
No, from for her, we're just trying to figure out, okay, when is the right time to go to TR if the ice rod does not show up in these next 4 checks. This is kind of not a great layout for showing off hybrid major glitches versus OWG, just because we do have Pendant Pod and Pendant Swamp. But we probably won't even see Meyer to Hera.
Unless, no, because people will pick up the hook shot in Meyer.
Yeah.
So a lot of people will just do Meyer and then go to Hera. Probably won't even clip up there. That's the loveliness of hybrid major glitches is sometimes we just get an overworld glitches seed.
Yeah.
And sometimes we get everything.
Well, yeah. We say that now, but it is also the ice rod. It can be literally anywhere.
Alright, so Zeke is in Turtle Rock with no fire rod.
Yeah, it came in from the front.
Yes. Windfox got the Kiki Yeet, and we'll be clipping into Pod right here. Okay, so they do this lineup. Oh, that's an interesting one. I usually just dash down the slope.
That's
just seems easier.
The first one I learned was dashing down the slope. I learned the insta clip last week, which is very nice because this you have to adjust up a little bit. I think Windfox needed to go one more up. Use that use that bump to align your shadow, and then you just want to slash, I think, 2 up. Windfox is.
I always look at Link's ears, but then again, I use a Link sprite, so it works.
So Windfox is going to also be able to exploit a mechanic of cave state. So the game still thinks that Windfox is in a cave. We can see that he's clearly in Palace of Darkness. And he's running into a key door. The key door only checks to see if your key number is 0, but since you don't have any keys, you go backwards and you wind up with, 255 keys, because the number rolls back over the other way around. So you can open unlimited doors. And so Windfox has opened that middle door, which is going to open up. It's going to make Pod nicer to route. You also have to be really careful because since you entered from a cave, if you open any chests, it's going to attribute any keys you might find to the cave and not to the dungeon. So you can ruin your Pod big key if you open any chests. So usually just open one door and then get back out and reset the dungeon.
Alright, Lana is almost to Aga 2, which you mentioned earlier, we do have to beat. So a fun thing about hybrid major glitches is we have to beat all of the crystal bosses, but if for some reason we have to, let's say Vidi was a pendant, we can actually dupe that pendant in Hera and still be within rules and regulations. But we have to. It's only the pendants that we can do, not crystals.
Yeah, because everything is tied to the dungeon where you enter from. If you entered from Mire, a pendant Mire, and then clipped over to Hera and entered a boss room, which the game already says, oh, this boss is dead. Drop the reward. Then you can pick up the wrong rewards in other dungeons. But these runners are required to kill all 7 crystal bosses.
All right, Zeke is in GT, so they will find their fire rod here, and probably a bow. I'm sure they will go down and full clear everything, because I got to find that big key anyway, which was on right side. So far, I don't think Windfox has found anything in pod.
No, it doesn't look like we found anything interesting in pod yet. There's not really like that much to find that opens stuff up for us.
Yeah, it's just that ice rod that we're looking for now.
Yeah.
And it's right there.
There we go.
Okay, that's kind of gross. But, that's rando.
Yeah, that's a really good find. Especially because when you get into an ice rod hunt situation, especially if you're in HMG, you may have HMG brain and be thinking, swamp. And it's very easy
To hear the siren song of green pendant swamp versus blue pendant pod. So, Windfox does not know that they're about to be in go mode. So I'll have to go to Hype Cave and pick up all those goodies, and then also GT. But a pretty nice path.
Does
for
Dr.
Windfox.
Earworm have bombos? They must, right? Why else would they be down here at Cold Stare?
Yeah, they have the hammer too. The hammer was like right there.
So
with it.
yeah, they have to have it then. Okay, Tracker's probably just eating inputs. Okay, so Zeke is out of logic here because they have not been to Mire and picked up the hookshot yet. But we know that the right side doesn't, or the left side. 42 years old. I should know my directions by now. Windfox, where are you going, buddy? This is not the right spot for you to be clipping.
I'm not sure.
I hope they've saved and quit recently. And if they haven't,
Because
they do know where it is.
They've been quit out of pod. Got a little dicey at the end there for Doc, but walks away with 4th crystal, and takes the crystal lead here on Restream. Would expect to see Doc heading over to Mire next. That's another clearable crystal.
Yeah. So we are in no mode. This could be a pretty quick seed. Depending on when our runners go to pod.
It looks like Lana is setting up the flipper trap to ice. So this is an in-logic method to get there. The 2 in-logic ways being to fake flipper and use the mitts. The second being to do this flipper wrap here. This is a really complicated set of inputs.
you have to like wrap around twice and clip on the same spot again. It's complicated. The mirror wrap is so much easier, but yeah, like you mentioned earlier, they're just not in logic right now. I think there are some hybrid major glitches branches that are in logic with mirror wraps, but
yeah, there is F2, which does play with the mirror wraps in logic, but the base V31 logic is that it's not. My understanding is that's going to change in V32 of the randomizer, but yeah, the current glitch logic is fairly old, and there's been a lot of growth in glitch racing over the past couple of years.
a lot of new glitches being found too.
Yeah, we
Diver
haven't seen
Down and Icebreaker are fairly new-ish, a couple years. But
yeah, we have not seen the swim EG either, which is I think the newest glitch that's been discovered that you would see in an HMG seed.
yeah, those are fun to do.
Yeah, it's
But we had mirrors so early it didn't make sense to swimmy anywhere.
yeah.
Unless you wanted to swim into Ice Rod Cave, but oh well. Okay, where's Windfox going now?
Who's the DMD?
DMD or a super jump?
Windfox is not screen wrapped, so you want to be screen wrapped for a super jump.
Windfox did go into Hera to correct the camera.
Okay, maybe they were trying for a super jump, but they just didn't realize that they had to be.
Yeah, it's something I definitely forgot until I sat down to practice it. So, if you are going to go in here, you would need to do the more conventional DMD over to bumper ledge.
Okay, so Zeke decided to not climb at this moment. But where are we going from here? Are we going to go do Eastern? On Zeke's side?
Yeah, looks like
it.
Looks like beelining Eastern. Yeah, you have progression dungeons to do. You do have to beat Aga 2 before the end of the seed, but there is merit in waiting. This is just a for fun one. Gonna wrap the screen around and enter Eastern from the top. I don't know. This is a citrus off the mountain.
Citruses are another one that still elude me. Like, I don't get it.
I got my head around the dash citrus in the dungeons, but I don't really understand the overworld one.
Yeah, I can do the dash, like, from Hera to Swamp, or if you don't move the torches in Mire, from Mire to Hera, I can do those. But those are the only citruses that I've learned.
Yeah, so this is a nice glitch skill to have, being able to select buffer single frame movements. So you have to do some very precise movements to get yourself clipped out to do the DMD. So you want to use the select to buffer in the movement during the frames when you're unselecting, and then reselect to stop your movement.
Nice cold stare fight from Lana.
I thought
Doc had already done this. So this will be crystal number 5 for Doc.
When did Lana go get flippers?
Yeah, she went into
Oh, that's right.
TR not too long ago.
I'm sorry.
It's no, there's there's 4 things going on at the same time. This is the GT play for Doc. He is going to leave here with everything he needs to finish the seat except for flippers and an ice rod. But you don't even need the flipper.
You really don't need the flippers.
You don't even need them.
No, you really don't. You just need that ice rod from Big Chest and Pod.
It's been a long day. It's midnight.
It's been a long day.
Everything except the ice rod and the flippers if you are a flippers enthusiast.
Well, flippers, they don't even put ice into Logic because we have the mitts.
Yeah.
And you can get to it by fake flippering. Yeah, I just completely forgot that Swamp was a pendant. Yeah.
Also just not used to having mitts to get into ice. All right, that is crystal number 3 for Zeke.
And we have, is it Lana or Lana? I think it's potato, but
I don't know.
I don't know. Lana, we'll go with Lana. Lana is in Eastern, working on their 5th crystal, while Dr. Earworm is figuring out GT, and Windfox is in the Dark World. Looks like Village of Outcast area. Okay, thank you, lady. We will do Lana then. Thank you.
Yeah, looks like did a map check, maybe reorienting on which direction they want to go. Really just need to get down to Hype Cave. Yes, this is hybrid major glitches. So this is not full no logic crazy glitches, but this is overworld glitches in a few dungeon clips. Our ice rod is in pod, so we will very likely see a key skip from the other 3 runners.
At a little over an hour, Zeke is choosing to skip that flute, which is not a horrible decision. Honestly, they've already turned in the mushroom, which is really the best use of a flute.
Yeah.
But yeah, so skipping that at this time, not a big surprise. But we're seeing Skull Woods for the first time on stream.
Yeah, it's there's 2 items here. This is also a crystal that Zeke can beat. Zeke opted not to finish GT when he was there earlier, and Lana did. So one of the things that you can do if Skullwoods is your last crystal, you can do what's called the river clip to clip over to the pyramid. Whereas in Zeke's case, where he's attempting to save Aga 2 for last, it would just drop him off on the pyramid. It's just different routing choices for different runners. not gonna fault someone for saying no thank you to the Master Sword, no Silver's Climb if you think that you are just gonna end up coming back later.
Yeah, Master Sword is not as good as it sounds. Master Sword, you'd think it'd be a really good sword, but it's really not.
Yeah, you give a frog $10 and it's suddenly way better. Doc is now getting the bad news that he has to go back to the right side. Unfortunately, there were no keys in Hope Room or Tile Room, so you're just forced to go left to then go right. You could do a DM route to go to Stolfo's room and get your fire rod and then come back to the right side. You get everything you need, but you're not going to be in go mode, so you're not going to leave that.
No, that's too many checks on the left to leave behind.
Yeah, it's not. You don't really see that kind of GT routing in glitch mode just because you end up getting here so much sooner. You're not just trying to find the big key. You're trying to find the big key and 2 to 3 more items.
Lana choosing to use the portal north of Keck like a regular runner. Oh, we're getting a pet check? We know it's nothing that we need, but we're getting a pet check?
It's Ice Rod. It can be anywhere. Get the peace of mind. Hopefully that's not gonna steer Zeke away from the pendants because he will need to go independent pod to get that Ice Rod.
So, yeah. Windfox does have a slight advantage with his sword right now. It's because the tempered, like we said, is just so much better. But they're just missing a few key things so far. But they have other things that are nice to have that our other runners don't have.
When you say routing and not rooting, right? That's
I say routing.
yeah.
It's just
I-
everybody's accent's a little bit different, I'm sure.
Yeah, that might be American accent. Rooting sounds like English.
Everybody knows what we're talking about, right?
I have no idea what I'm talking about. I have no idea why they put me in here to let people listen to me talk about glitches. The sword is nice. Not what Fox would have been hoping to find.
Yeah, it unfortunately Blue Pendant Thieves Town was not the answer they were looking for. Zeke is also heading into the wrong pendant dungeon, unfortunately.
Yeah, I don't remember how much stuff was in the front. I know the small key was in the back, so maybe this will be a front heavy enough Thieves Town that Zeke will say, "Thanks, I've seen enough."
Yeah, with Mirror, it makes these front four a little bit more enticing.
Yeah,
But,
2 items. I know
yeah.
blind was an item, and and this small key was in blind cell. I do not remember the location of the map or compass.
So the sword has to be up here then. Unless it was an attic.
Yeah, it might have been an attic. Who knows? Yep, it's in the attic.
Of course it is. Dr. Earworm is almost to the top of GT.
Yeah.
Yeah. Things are moving along nicely.
Yeah, this is we might have a really close race on the left side. Really, it's just a question for this is going to tie them up on progression. No, Doc still has to do Skull. So Doc will be on 5 crystals in Agate 2, whereas Lana's on 6 in Agate 2, and it's just a question of when does she go to Pod?
When do 3 of our runners on stream go to Pod?
Yeah. the nice, the classic 1 hour and 8-minute Lost Woods drop. It's because everything opens up so much in glitch modes.
And this one was like even more open than a lot. Oh no, they lost their portal. That's okay. We want them to save and quit and go to Pod. Will it? Chat will send the vibes to them, but don't actually tell them.
Yeah.
Because that would be cheating.
Just
No cheating allowed.
Just think Pod really hard. And having to take the scenic route because of no myths.
Looks like Lana is going to be going back to Dark World and Village of Outcast. Nobody wants to pay Kiki in this, so my guess is they'll do Thieves Town and then save and quit and do pods.
It's so awkward when you're one from go to, because how much are you committing to your Thieves play?
Yeah, it's such a hard thing when you have so much open and only one item short.
Yeah, this is over here you do have the entirety of Thieves, which is 4 items. You have the 3 overworld checks in the village. You also have access to hammer pegs even without the mitts. But she's seen enough.
Did we not full clear Skull Woods? Guess not. We're gonna go back to Skull Woods and get our last useless item out of the front.
Zeke is now clearing Mire. I believe has already picked up the hook and big key. This is a Mire that rewarded getting aggressive and going straight for the boss, but you never know with Mire.
There's so many checks in Mire, and unfortunately there's so many keys in Mire. But yeah, they have got what we need out of here. They are saving that key just in case they want to do swamp shenanigans. You saw Zeke walk up to that door and change his mind. And I'm thinking swamp is playing heavy on his brain at the moment, thinking about that. So
yeah, there is a you may or may not know, in the basement of Mire there is a key door which leads to a rupee room. I didn't know that it existed prior to playing this, but this whole mode hinges on the fact that you will not open that door, and you'll use that spare key in either Hera or Swamp.
So there is still one sword outstanding. I don't think Zeke will find it.
Yeah, it's probably in swamp, right? That's the meme.
Always a sword in swamp.
So, um, could be there. It is going to be pick dependent. Once once you finish up here, but I believe the thing that bodes well for Zeke is that Zeke does not have the flippers right now. So if the choice for Zeke would be pod versus TR.
Okay, we're gonna get a catfish play here from Lana. I'd say catfish in a pod, but we don't want to pay Kiki. I mean, you could. It's just slower.
Yeah, this is a the conventional catfish route that you don't see as much because you can't hop off the mountain.
But this did get isolated because Lana chose to dip into TR instead of do the catfish DMD.
Yeah. Looks like they'll also be picking up Zora and the item on the ledge.
Yeah, I think they were up here earlier.
It's possible.
Uh,
My brain is it's done for the night.
yeah, I thought Lana went to Waterfall Ferry at least. Yeah, swimming.
Oh
around.
yeah, so they've already checked Zora. They're just grabbing the powder to do that check. Cleaning up overworld instead of doing just
Yeah.
yeah.
It's very easy with the benefit of having seen what 3 other people have been doing simultaneously
Yes.
to be like just
For
walk
sure.
to walk to the item.
Just go. Where is... Okay, this looks like a Heraclear for Zeke.
Yep. This will be Crystal 6 for Zeke. It'll be a quick Herapot in and out.
Okay, for everyone watching who may not know, there is a really nice, easy new setup for the Herapot. I can't remember who did it, whose Herapot setup it is, but it's so easy.
It's one where you walk backwards into the bomb.
Yes. So you have your sword out, you nudge Link into the lower 2 pegs and scoot forward a little bit until you're lined up just right, and then you lay a bomb, you walk up and over to the pot, and then as soon as the bomb explodes, you walk back into it, and then you can hook over and do your normal movements. But yeah, it's super, super easy and really consistent. And you don't have to spend like 5 minutes worrying about accidentally unlocking the door if you have a key that you're trying to save.
Yeah, Zeke unfortunately found his way into the middle hole.
Not the middle one.
It's the worst one.
All right, Windfox has another crystal. Let's go.
I do think something that if you are a Zeke fan, they beating Hera is going to drop him right over the top of the Spec Rock Cave that you would need to use the Kiki skip. He's going to be basically... I think Zeke has also been into the very front of TR, so if there was a time to go to pod, this is going to be the time for Zeke.
Yeah, this would be a really good routing decision for Zeke.
Zeke has done the basement and has the big key, but will still have to climb. Whereas Doc and Lana have both already completed the climb.
All right, so it looks like Windfox is heading into Mire, and we'll get their hook shot in here.
Actually, this might be, yeah, looks like this is going to be Hookshot Cave first.
Darn. Oh, please go to pod. Just will all of our runners to pod, except for
Yeah.
Windfox, who's already been there.
Yeah. Just if you're by the window, open the curtain, look up at the moon, and just hope that by thinking pod really hard, your preferred runner will also be looking at the moon. They should be looking at their game, but they might be looking at their moon, and we'll see it and think about pod.
Oh boy, we are tired. Because that was so funny, Pix. And all I can think of is that I think it's the 80s movie An American Tail where the mice are singing. Yes. Okay, sorry.
No,
I'm so tired.
this is Laser Bridge.
Okay.
Yeah,
We're
this is-
doing the non-mirror wrap into Laser Bridge. Which looks like it was nicely done. You do have to move confidently during parts of that, otherwise you will soft lock yourself.
Yeah, you gotta walk confidently to the edge, not too confidently that you keep going off, and then you gotta quick hop down and hold left before you hit the ground.
We know the answer isn't here, unfortunately. Oh, what's going on with Dr. Earworm? What are we doing over here?
In Lionel jail. Just
Okay.
getting bullied.
Okay, well, Dr. Earworm and Zeke will probably... Ooh. Okay, I don't like opening... So Zeke...
Uh,
a key door.
Yeah, Zeke has done the front.
Oh,
or at
that's
least
right.
A good portion of the front.
Okay, and I guess if you found a key on Lazy Bridge, you're fine.
Yeah, I have not paid significant attention to the tier.
Yeah.
I barely pay attention to it when I play. So I don't know if we're guaranteed a key here or big chest, but
I just don't know enough of key logic or anything. I would rather just wait to open that door at the very end when I know I've opened everything else.
I always say that I'm going to run the key sanity tracker for for glitch modes, and then I never remember. Just for like the dungeons that sometimes get separated, like GT and TR, where you come in multiple times. It's nice to know what your key situation is.
I can't even remember to count items. How are you expecting me to keep track of keys too?
Now let the robot count the keys for me.
I can't count keys right now. I'm on a classic and my computer doesn't like to... Yeah. So auto tracking's not a thing for me.
Yeah.
I'm very sad about that. Zeke leaving a bomb for those flippers. Because he knows he doesn't really need them.
Yeah, but I'm really worried that that's going to get Swamp on his mind.
That's a good point. Because right now, nothing's pointing towards pod other than...
The one good thing is that we have the Harris Mall now. Never mind. I was like, the Harris Mall was upstairs. I was going to say, the good thing is that we don't have the key in Hera, which means you have to go from Meyer, and it's really inconvenient. Okay, maybe Zeke hadn't been in here. I really thought Zeke had been in the front.
They didn't have the fire rod when they first came in here, so they did the compass check, and that was it.
Okay.
We got a nice mirror wrap from Dr. Earworm onto Laser Bridge.
Yeah.
So we've seen two different ways to get to the Laser Bridge.
And then
Lana's going back into Turtle Rock.
Just don't. It's just go through the front door. It's a classic for a reason.
Well, in this case, I think it was required, unless you, logically required to go in the front.
Yeah.
Because of key layout.
Really front heavy on the keys.
Okay, Zeke, where are we going to now?
Mimic Cave?
Oh, probably, yeah. And then it'll probably be a save and... Oh... And then check big chest, maybe? I don't know if they've
Yeah.
been counting items or keys or whatever.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah, big chest was not accessible when you come from the back.
It must have been a key. I don't know, maybe it wasn't. Maybe it was a dungeon item. Okay, yeah, let's hope this is pod. No. Spike Cave? This might be Spike Cave.
This might be finishing GT.
Might also be finishing GT.
You know, you can do Spike Cave if you're gonna do Spike Cave, doing it on your way to GT, especially with half magic and the ability to kind of super speed out of here. Which yeah, running out. This is probably this is Spike into GT.
Yeah, going to Spike to GT is like the best time to do Spike Cave. Otherwise, it's just so easy to orphan it.
Oh.
Oh, did we yeet the wrong way somehow?
Yeah, we got something weird happened, and Zeke very wisely said, let's take a second, let's reset. But looked like headed back to GT. Windfox making the same decision is now on the way back with the hammer this time.
Oh, is this a yeet? No. Where are you going, Lana? Come on, please go to pod. Somebody go to pod.
That's pod.
Please be pod.
Yeah, this is pod. No, this is Spike.
No.
Oh, I thought for sure, because you'd see the runner clip into Hera, and if they leave Hera, you can go to pod. If you stay in Hera, you're going swamp.
We're not doing our good jobs very well about trying to mind trick them into going to pod.
Yeah. Maybe we should do the opposite. I'm just gonna think really hard about swamp right now and hope it just sends them in the opposite direction.
Oh, Dr. Earworm's going to pod.
Yep,
this is another Kiki Yeet. Yay! Or a Kiki skip. Meanwhile, Lana is doing escape. This is not where we were trying to send you, Lana.
So, yeah, Doc, again, using that cave state to go ahead and open it.
Oh,
yeah.
Windfox is in go mode.
Yeah, Windfox has to go over and grab a couple big keys. It's just GT big key at this point.
And then just clear dungeons.
Yeah.
But they're going to be able to go mode all of them.
Yeah, Windfox has already been into EP, so he has EP big. So it'll be a really quick go mode. Just run and kill 3 bosses real quick. Climb and do AGA as well. But right now it looks like Doc is in the driver's seat, gonna pick up Ice Rod here in just a minute, and then we'll see it real quick. go knock out Trinex and already has Aga 2 down. The silvers are in the same room as the GT big key, so Windfox is going to get him here in just a minute.
Yeah, the first bow was Sea House, and then, yeah, the Compass Room and GT.
Yeah. Really convenient.
Very. Although our runners did pick them up in different orders. I believe Dr. Earworm was and Windfox were the only ones to get the bow out of Village of Outcast first.
Mhm.
I think Zeke and Lana.
It looks like Lana is taking the conventional route to pod. May not be super comfortable on it, which would also, I guess, explain the aversion to it when it becomes a little bit slower to go in and do it the regular way.
Gotcha. Whatever gets our runners to the items that they need is what we want them to do.
Right, and if you're gonna lose a lot more time trying to do a glitch that you're not super comfortable with, stick to what you know.
For sure. For sure.
So, Dr. Earworm is now in go mode. This is gonna be really fast go mode. I'm just gonna do another mirror wrap to the back of TR. Everything's already open.
Yeah, wrap into Laser Bridge and running in is just super, super fast.
Very similar to the fake flipper setup, using a bomb to get right on the edge of the screen.
That looks really low.
Yeah, that seems way too low.
Oh, it worked.
Yeah, so I guess he was straight on the platform, whereas the other one puts you like sort of on the land
Above
bridge
it.
part where you're doing
Yeah.
like you're doing a mirror jump. That's really interesting. I haven't seen someone set that up that way.
Yeah, I didn't notice the last time how low that was. Okay, Zeke, where are we going to now? Please tell me it's pod.
It's Mountain Cave.
Mountain.
All right, we want to see Zeke leave Hera. Don't stay in Hera.
Or Yeet.
Yeah.
We're climbing, which is good. Climbing could mean
Yeah.
we're heading to the cave. It's just the slower way. It's
Yeah.
fine. Yes.
You know what's slower than that? Doing all of Swamp.
Yes. For probably just a sword.
Yeah. You never know.
They're setting up the teleport. Yeah.
Maybe a red mail.
No,
What else
because
are we missing?
oh yeah, it could be red mail. We haven't seen Quake. I don't
Yeah.
think. We have Force Shields. We've got Blue Cane somewhere.
No,
I
all
don't
the
remember where it
bottles.
was. We got both boomerangs. Yeah, there's not much left
Yeah.
out there.
I think Blue King was in front of Thieves.
Okay. Somebody in chat has corrected us. Red mail is in its vanilla location.
Ah.
Apparently, Doctor has it. It's hard to tell with some of the sprites.
Yeah, it's not super familiar with this one. But everything is done for Doc. This is still a Master Sword fight. 18 hearts and red mail is as comfy, and silvers is as comfy as a Master Sword fight is gonna get.
Yeah. And half magic. I mean,
Yeah,
you shouldn't
and
eat it with silvers, but yeah.
Master Sword and silvers is really hard. It's a lot more brain on than Master Sword Silverless, which is more of a vibes fight. But that is now the ice rod for Lana, who is also on her way to Trinex.
Zeke is in pod. They'll be getting their ice rod very shortly.
Yeah, gonna be right behind. Oof, nice extended auto stairs.
Oh, Chex renamed him. What was it? Fact. Oh, what was that? I gotta find it now. It was a good one. That's not the Discord it was in. It was this one. Funny auto climb thing. A fact. I thought that was kind of a funny thing.
Yeah, that's a good name. Windfox also on the way to TR now with the fire rod from GT, and then gonna be just a little bit behind the other two runners. Still has to just knock out EP and Skull.
I would do Skullwoods, and then I would use the portal south of Eastern, go up mirror at the front of Eastern, do Eastern, walk out, hit the portal, and then run over to the pyramid. There's go mode for Zeke. What would you do?
I think I'd go for the river clip. I like the river clip.
I don't know the river clip. If you know the river clip, that would be really quick too.
Also, my favorite glitch to do in like anything is like the one I just learned. So I'm always trying to find a way to make it happen.
So for any of you players out there who are having fun watching this overworld glitches seed, because let's be honest, we haven't really used that many hybrid major glitches tonight. But if you want to get into glitched learning, there's so many good resources out there. It's super fun to do. I highly recommend it. You can learn a speed run if you want to learn a speed run to do it. You can just do it for funs with rando. But learning glitches is super fun.
And GG's to Dr. Earworm going to be our first finisher on Restream today. A really good showing.
I don't know, Pix, do you prefer bacon, pork, or ham?
I think it depends on what time of day. Say a bacon breakfast, a ham lunch, and pork dinner.
What is Lana doing?
She's trying to get her shield eaten.
Just go, Lana. Just go. It's just gonna pick you dry of everything else. You're not gonna have any silvers for Ganon. Just go.
I hope that everyone out there watching has something in their life that they feel as strongly about as she feels about not having a shield.
Also, welcome. We got a couple of raids, I'm assuming from other runners who were also, because they're all 3 glitched runners, so I'm assuming they were doing this as well. We're just finishing up here. Pix and I are incredibly tired. Our brains are not functioning properly anymore, but we're having fun. Yeah.
It's been really interesting. There's been a lot of different routes to get through this one. So I hope that these runners do enjoy if they get the chance to watch it back after.
And hopefully I haven't spread too many false too much false information. But yeah, while we're just finishing up here, I'm just going to reiterate, if you're interested, if you've enjoyed this at all, 1, follow the runners. They put on a great show for us tonight, and it's been a lot of fun. And 2, if you're interested at all in learning, just I think there's a glitch chat in the Rando Discord. I could be wrong. I don't go there very often. But there's always somebody to point you in the right direction on what if you need to.
You can always ask too. People love talking about glitches. Speaking of talking about glitches, though, I believe that Dr. Earworm has just joined us. GG's, Doc.
Hey, GG's. Thanks.
So, for a lot of us, because we had seen the ice rod, fairly early. We were really thinking like, all right, when are people gonna go to pod?
Yeah. So who was the first person on Restream to go there?
Windfox went really early.
Gotcha. And I imagine Gamachu also went really early. Sorry, not to spoil the race room.
Yeah, haven't seen anything in the race room yet, so don't really know when anyone else finished yet.
Gotcha.
But,
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, what was the I guess what was your thought process there in the end as you were just looking for that ice rod?
I mean, I kept having better things to do, right? Like my mentor for most of my matches has been Malmo. Orange also mentored my first match, and I learned a ton from them. And Malmo and I feel like similar routing philosophies for better or worse, which is to just full clear the world as efficiently as possible and hope that your go mode isn't somewhere truly terrible. And it was never a good time to go to Pendant Pod. It could have been in, GT had all the density. I had mirror, so I could get into TR and do all that. I had, I lucked out in a couple places. Like in Meyer, I got to get the first item and just scoot straight to the back and get the second. So anyway.
Yeah, and GG's Talana, who is going to be our second finisher on Restream today. I think she's joining us now. GG's.
GG's.
Fire or ice rod.
Pix and I were trying to send out mental vibes saying go to pod, go to pod, go to pod, but it just didn't work. I think we're both too tired.
Yeah, many people go to pod early in this mode, and I just said, nah, I'm good. And then I did everything else before pod, so there. I avoided swamp, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, if we had had a less boring Moon Pearl, I think we would have gotten there a lot earlier, right, Lanavine? But it was just there was so much else to do.
There was a lot, and there was no reason to go to pod. I don't know. I was go minus flippers for 45 minutes or something. I don't know.
Yeah, it also wasn't a super exciting layout from like an HMG standpoint, Pendant Pod and Pendant Swamp.
Yeah, there wasn't a whole lot of pendant placement that scared me at the beginning. I was like, oh, pod. Well, that means I can avoid that, and apparently that was a bad call.
Yeah.
For the most part, like, after the first 15-20 minutes, I thought I read it very well. And basically, Ice Rod was the only thing that kept me from finishing this around the time first place did, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, from the restream standpoint, the two of you were really close for a while, really throughout kind of the whole mid game.
Nice. Lana,
Yeah,
what's
it was.
your-
Oh, sorry. Go
Oh
ahead.
no, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Twin. I'm sorry.
I was just gonna say that it was a really fun one to watch on Restream for sure.
Nice.
Oh, thank you. It was a fun one to race for sure.
GG Zeke. Yay.
GG, Zeke.
Loving the two Bs
Yeah.
that Zeke decided to let go in the Ganon fight.
I always appreciate anyone who wants to clown a little bit on the restream.
I can occasionally get lucky with these. I have not ran many, but I think my PB is around 114, so I could do good if the seed is nice to me, but as always, with every mode in existence, where's that S-Rod?
Yeah. I mean, I felt good about and like I'm super glad we put on like a close race. I didn't have any major execution whoopsies as far as the glitches go anyway. Like I didn't hardlock or anything, so that was good. So some of my decisions really paid off. Finding the mirror where I did let me, not isolate Zora forever. Not that mattered, but yeah.
Yeah, there was there were a couple of soft locks for people.
Like me!
Couple instances of glitch jail, but it was I think most people for the most part it was pretty clean from everyone. And we're also being joined by Zeke. GG Zeke.
GG Zeke.
GG, Zeke.
GG's. Sorry, I had to adjust my volume mixer so I could hear you guys over the credits music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how did you feel about that seed, Zeke?
Could have used more swords in the end. That was not a good Master Sword Ganon.
Oh yeah, where were the swords? Did anyone find more swords? Lynn found tempered, it looks like.
There was one
Yeah.
in the Thieves' Town attic.
Oh, gross.
That's the only other one we've seen.
Gross. And then
Well, that wasn't being picked up.
Yeah.
Honestly, what it came down to at the end when I was choosing between, we don't have face cams on Restream, but I pulled the flippers out of lava chest and said nope. So it was between Pod or Thieves, and legitimately I was like, well, I'm on Restream for an HMG seed with all Mentor Tourney participants. I should do the dungeon that lets me do a glitch. So that's literally the only reason I went to Pod instead of Thieves Town and Hammer Pegs.
Yeah, Zeke, you left a bomb on the flipper's chest. We were worried that you were gonna have swamp on the brain.
I have a very core rule when it comes to looking for a single item in a glitch seed. Start as early in the sphere list as possible.
Yeah.
And since Pod kind of starts out as Sphere 1,
Interesting.
Yeah, it was the right call today. Pod was kind of a thorny question because it's like, when you have access to it right at the start, you don't have bow and you don't have hammer, but also like it's a pendant. So how much do you care about that? Because if you're gonna go early, you're not gonna do helmet anyway. So it was really for everyone. The question was when do you do it?
I just don't like Pod that much, so I tend to put it off. And then I usually try to put it off until I have a bow or a hammer or both to clear it if I need to, and then all of a sudden it's a pendant and I can clear every other dungeon.
Yeah.
Actually, the check that was sticking in my mind was GT Big Chest.
We think that was red mail.
It was,
Wait,
yeah. I got it. I got GT Big Chest.
Are you telling me it's vanilla?
It is vanilla. Yeah.
Wow, good thing that wasn't the ice rod, because I forgot about that chest.
Yeah, I annoyingly didn't rando. I should have mirrored out after rando room, since I didn't have the big key yet, and gone the other way so that I could not isolate it. But instead, I just ran all the way through for it.
What I mean by that is a calculated skip, totally.
Yeah, and totally. It was intentional time save. Great job, Luna. So proud of you.
So
Mine actually was intentional.
Good triple from Winfox.
Yeah.
GG.
GG's.
So the check I thought everybody was gonna forget or miss was the red cane on Bombo's tablet, but like that was the first check everybody did after getting the book in down. So that was a
Yeah,
I got
if you
because of a
don't-
really fun route I've been trying to use. So
yeah. If you don't do it there, you, at least with the route that I had, if you don't do it there, you just never do it. So
at least until
yeah.
a more standard Meyer route,
Yeah.
which I don't know if anyone else did. I had the mirror going into desert, and so I kind of got my Meyer checks done with Super Bunny state. So
Oh, interesting. No,
which is part of what let me do bomb because like I'm never going back if I don't do it now.
I skipped it after the so normally I would do like top to bottom, like Village of Outcasts, Meyer Shed, check the Meyer Medallion, Hype Cave, but I had Mitts, Flute, and Mirror. So I said this is just as fast. I don't want to isolate Purple Chest. So I decided to just go to it the standard non-glitchy way.
Yeah, that was the other kind of frustrating thing is that there are sphere 1 mitts and
Yeah.
they don't in like a glitch team they don't mean anything and it's just like why do I have mitts?
Yeah, it makes you try to break out of glitch brain where it's like, okay, is it actually faster to teleport here or should I just do it the intended way?
I got mints like an hour 10 in.
Yeah, which was the glove that took forever to get to? Oh right, there was a glove in Graveyard Ledge, wasn't there?
Yeah, Graveyard Ledge, yeah.
We're also being joined by Winfox. GG's Winfox.
GG.
Yo, GG.
GG's wind.
Windfox, you were the first on Restream to find Ice Rod. So congrats on that, because that was everybody else's go mode.
I don't even remember where that was at.
On Big Chest.
Pod big chest.
Oh, that's right. That's right. I Kiki skipped to get in there at some point.
Yeah, you made the call to go really early instead of doing some of the overworld checks. What was the thought process there?
Lots of checks. Density.
Did you go before Moon Pearl? Was it just like your first trip up the mountain you went in?
I want to say no. I want to say I had Moon Pearl by that point.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, I think it was around like 30, 35-ish minutes, whereas I think pretty much everyone had the Moon Pearl by about like 20, 25.
Yeah, it was definitely when I had the Moon Pearl, because I remember going down and doing Catfish, Pyramid Ledge, and then trying to swim clip into Pyramid Ferry, which I ended up soft locking trying to do that. And that's when I decided just to Kiki skip right after that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's one of the Pyramid Ferry swim is one of those ones that can really get away from you. Get a weird transition.
Thanks so much to everybody, all the crew, and GG's to everyone. I have to jump off because I have work early tomorrow. But thanks everybody, GG's.
GG.
Yeah, GG's. Yeah, did anyone have any other closing thoughts?
Just thank you everybody involved with Restream. Greatly appreciated. And thank you for having this mode, for giving the mentor tournament going on. It's a lot of fun showing off what you've been learning. But otherwise, thank you all so much. I'll let you all just finish out here, and you all have a fantastic night. Thank you. GG's again.
I'm glad that some of the mentees got to show off here on Restream with me. Because unlike everybody else, I'm not a mentee.
Yeah, there was a little bit of I think there was a little bit of that early. You had more of the confidence going up to the mountain with nothing, whereas everyone else was kind of like fishing for some more stuff.
So I remember before I had Titan's Mitts, I tried to citrus clip down into the Dark World and messed something up trying to set it up in soft lock. I was like, nope, we'll just get Graveyard Legend, then found Mitts. I was like, well, that would be nice to find about 5 minutes ago trying to citrus clip.
Yeah, I think you had went for the super jump at one point too, but I think you went into Hera and corrected your camera.
Yeah, and I ended up screwing that up.
Yeah, I think it's one of those things too. I like forgot until like a week ago that you have to be screen wrapped when you do it.
Yep.
But I think that is going to probably gonna do it for us tonight. So thank you to all 4 of our runners for agreeing to be showcased on Restream. Been on a fantastic show. So make sure to follow them, and a big thank you to my co-commentator Twin. I'm very tired, but this has been an absolute blast.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun joining you on comms tonight. Thank you to our trackers who helped us keep track of everything with 4 screens to watch. Without the trackers, we would be completely lost. And a big shout out to Speed Gaming for doing this Hybrid Major Glitches daily. So thank you so much. And everyone have a great night.